Hi everyone, sorry we haven't posted in a while because we wanted to take a break for summer, Ramadan and then we had some technical problems, but now that's all out of the way, we can start the show again. The reason it's just me today is because I'm starting a new series on this channel called Fadilah's Cooking Corner. It's where I basically make kid-friendly snacks and other stuff, so all the kids that are watching, or if you have any, or if you know any, could eat the best that they could eat, if that makes sense. Anyways, today we're making apple chips. They're very easy to make. You just have to be patient, have a kid, have some fun. So let's get on to the recipe and the video. So the things you'll need for this recipe is 1 big apple or 2 smaller ones. This is a perfect opportunity to go apple picking with your family if it's fall time. The second thing you'll need for the syrup for this recipe is 2 cups of water. Depending how many apples you'll be using, you'll need more or less water. The third thing you'll need for the syrup is 1.5 cups of water. If you want your kid to have less or more sugar, you could have a half of a cup or a whole cup or 2 cups. The fourth thing we'll need is 3 lemons, squeezed. You need the juice of them, but I didn't juice them yet because I want to show you how I juice them. The final thing we'll need is a big knife, or a knife that's sharp enough to cut through an apple. This is a very big knife, I know. I had permission from my parents first to use this knife. I had experience with knives, and if anything happens, I have a first aid kit next to me. So don't you worry and don't panic. So let's get on of how to make this recipe. I forgot to mention, after your syrup has boiled nicely and stirred, let it to the side and cool. The next thing we're going to do, not the apple and the knife, is squeeze these lemons. So let's squeeze them, and I'll show you how to do it right now. So what I have here is a lemon juicer with a little edge so I could easily pour it in onto the apples that we slice. That's what the lemon juice is used for, so they don't brown too easily. So what you'll need are the lemons, and what I like to do first to get the most out of the lemon is roll it first. Make sure you add a little bit of pressure, flip it over a little, and then after this you have opened all the little sections of the lemon. So I'm going to be very careful with this knife. There you go, there's the lemon. What I'm going to do is I'm going to firmly push this down, squeeze it around onto the lemon juicer, and what I'm going to do is speed this up while I do this. Now that I strained the lemon juice from the seeds, I'm going to put that to the side now, and it's time to cut the apple with the knife. You know what, I'm actually going to just do a time lapse of me cutting the apple. So let's start. As you can see here, I cut a few slices, but I'm just saying as a heads up, don't forget to add a little bit of your lemon juice so they don't brown so easily. It's okay if you need to squeeze more lemons depending how much apples you are making. So I'm going to continue chopping them up. So now that I've cut all the apples and finished my lemon juice, I actually didn't cut all the apples because it was too much for the syrup that I had before, so I'm just going to save those as a snack for later because I love apples. They're delicious. This is why this is a perfect recipe for me, your family, and the kids that you will be serving them if you're not going to eat it yourself. So the final thing you have to do is get your syrup. I've let it cool down and boil. I'm gonna boil then cool down. What you have to do, put the apples inside. Stir it around. And then close it, and you have to wait a few hours or better overnight. But as usual, like my mother, I have a second batch that I already prepared. As you can see, the color from the red apple has turned into a light golden brown, and it looks pretty good. Don't put, because when I first did this, I made the mistake of putting too much water. It's not like it'll affect the recipe, it's just I wasted a little too much water. So don't make the same mistake as I. So what I'm going to do is strain this from the water, and I'll show you what we'll be doing next. Now that I've strained the water from the apples, what you're going to do next is take a dry kitchen towel and put the apples inside. This may seem weird, but trust me on this. This is how you do it. So then you're gonna have to lightly dry the apples that you just strained from it. And you have to do this not quickly, but I'm just saying, like, you have to do it this way so your apples don't turn brown. I think that's enough. So I'm gonna show you what you should do next. So after I have dried the apples nicely, I have to preheat my oven to 200 degrees. So with my oven and most ovens, you have to click bake. You can see that. And then 200. Start. And now let me show you the next step while it is preheating. So I put back the apples in the bowl, and now what I'm going to do, and the next step is after you set your oven preheat at 200 degrees Fahrenheit, you have to take a regular cookie sheet, pan that you usually make cookies in, or any other dessert, and then take a thing of parchment paper and put them on. And what you have to do, take the apples and put them on. I'm going to speed this process up, so you don't have to wait too long. Okay, now that we're done placing the apples onto the sheets, I'm going to take a towel and cover it for now. You don't have to do this, I just want to cover it so nothing gets on it. You don't have to do this, but I'm just going to cover it while the oven is preheating. So I'm going to show you what to do when the oven is finally preheated. So let's get to the next step. Now that the oven is preheated to 200 degrees, let's put them in the oven. Now as you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but it's on 200, and now I'm going to open the oven and carefully put the apples in here. You should put it until it's crispy. There's no actual time frame, but because it depends on the oven, how much is that, and all of that. But check on it by opening the oven light and check on it and see if it's crispy enough. And you could open it, test it with like a toothpick. This might sound weird, but see if it's crunchy, crispy. And then I'll show it to you when the apple's being crispy enough for my preference and for my family's preference. You thought that was the end of the video, didn't you? Well, I got a bonus snack for kids. It's chocolate covered bananas. It's a delicious snack. I've made it before, but it was kind of a fail because I just did it out of my mind. I just winged it. But now let me show you the actual recipe that is for sure going to make your kids smile, unless they're allergic to any of these ingredients or they just don't like bananas or chocolate. Still semi-healthy, so let's get on to the bonus recipe. So what you'll need for the ingredients to serve 2 kids or people is 1 banana, 2 popsicle sticks, chocolate chips, I prefer semi-sweet, a pot with 1 cup of water, a heat-safe bowl with a spatula. Now let me show you how to make this. Let's get started. So the first thing we have to do is melt the chocolate in the double boiler. If you wanna know specifically how to do the double boiler, check out of how to make homemade donuts video that my mom will tell you more in detail. But anyways, how you have to do, take a cup of water, put it in a pan, let it boil. And then I'll come back to you after this is boiled. As you can see, our water has boiled, and now I'm going to put our microwave safe bowl. I already put in some chocolate chips, but I'm going to add a little more. You have to make sure the bowl isn't hitting the actual water. Make sure it's just getting the steam from the water. And this is called a double boiler. Let me add some other ingredients, and I will tell you that right now. The other ingredient is a little bit of milk. And I'm going to add a little more chocolate chips. And stir it around. As you can see that the chocolate has melted now, so we could get on to step 2. Okay, so the second step is to cut the banana. You gotta say that, but you will need a knife. And then just cut it in half. Really simple. Then you have to peel the banana. Look, see, it's a little brown, which I like, and my family does. Because that means it's really ripe and good, and sweet. And what you have to do, stick the popsicle sticks onto the banana, so it's like a little thing. So then what you have to do is get your chocolate, and then dip, and then put it on the top of the banana. I'll come back to you when I finish this step. So I finished putting, the popsicle keeps on coming off. So I'm going to finish up this one. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to put it on a plate with foil on it. Take this one. This one was kind of falling apart. Put that right there. Put this to the side. There you go. And then I got some toppings, which are sprinkles. Now what I'm going to do, sprinkle on some sprinkles. Put some red ones on this one, a little bit of green ones. And then I'm going to add a little bit of pearls, tiny little pearls. Just a fun one. Some of these are falling off. Let's take some big ones. Sorry for the little noise. You know what? I'm going to cover that a little more. So it's like marble, but not really. Cover this one. And then we're going to cover it with a little more sprinkle. Sorry, I'm not too good at decorating. And then a little more, because you can never have enough. And then we're going to put these in the freezer until they're frozen. So I'll come back to you when they're done. So if you had extra chocolate like I did, what I did is I cut up some bananas, put them in the extra chocolate, and then what you could do is just leave them like this or put them in a flat pan so you can make some real nice banana and chocolate bites. You could put in a bite bag, make a little bite. What I'm doing is making it into a bowl using the shape of the bowl. And I'm gonna put this in the freezer also. So we'll have in total 3 dishes for kids. So I'll come back to you when all of this is ready. Now that we finished all the 2 dishes that we have made, we couldn't finish the chocolate bowl because we realized that it'll take overnight to do it. So we just end up with 2 dishes for kid-friendly party, whatever. So over here, I know the bananas don't look too good, but don't judge a book by its cover. Just, yeah. They look a little good, not really. But they would still taste pretty good. Trust me, I've made one of these before. It looked way worse than this. But this is still pretty good. So over here we have the apple chips. I sprinkled a little bit of cinnamon for a little flavor. And, it's so good. Sorry. And now I'm going to show you a close-up photo of these 2 dishes right now. And these are delicious, perfect for kids, anybody. As long as they're not allergic to any of these ingredients. Warning, do not put a lot of cinnamon on 1 apple, because that could cause very bad things that I will not speak of because I can't remember what it causes, but I just know if you ingest a lot of cinnamon, it could really harm you. So just don't put a lot, like put a lot of it, just like swipe it off and eat it. But anyways, here are the 2 dishes, and I hope you like it. Tomorrow, stay tuned for tomorrow, where we're gonna make a lamb as one of the dishes and another one. So, and don't worry, my mom's gonna be in that one. I'm not going to be making it because I'm too young. But anyways, stay tuned for tomorrow, and bye everybody. Make sure to like and subscribe.